we having fun yet? All right, so we got that that screw cut there. Let's see, did we? Nope, didn't even nick the washer. Yay! All right. So let's see here. Feels like it's cut and snapped pretty clean. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that now. And yep, it's not binding up or anything, removing it. So I will go ahead and remove this offending fastener. Yeah, that was fun. Fortunately, it's a robot. There's nothing that can't be fixed or replaced, in theory. Again, that's another reason why you want to screw these things in here and not pound them through with a hammer. I will tell you, I've looked, I can't see anything on here that indicates, you know, of course, the screwed up part would be inside the nut, so that shall forever remain a mystery. So best practice here, let me see, where is, okay, yep, gotta grab another screw and another nut. I'm just gonna examine, oh yeah, I can see on that one, there's a little bit of thread wonkiness. It shouldn't be anything that, yeah, this one feels okay, but I'll just have to keep an eye out for that now, won't I? All right, so, yep, one of those little trials and tribulations that you will run into. This one is going right in, pretty easy. Again, I was sure to make sure the washer is facing in the correct direction. Are we having fun yet? And now I will try to make sure that that washer is, it's just a personal preference of mine. Here we go. It doesn't, obviously doesn't have to be directly in the center, but all right, I'm just gonna check that nut right there. All right. Take two, right? Well, it threads on there perfectly fine. I'm just going to check the other one here, make sure. Yeah, I mean, I must have just gotten a bad screw or a bad nut there. And it started going on fine until it didn't. All right, so, all right, these are in pretty reasonable position. So, put this on here. There we go. You've got to be kidding me. This one's seizing up? Oh, no way. What is going on? Well, what hell? Yeah, wrench is fine, but let me try the other ones here. What is going on? Yeah, that one's fine. That one went. And that one went. Wow.
I am standing here beside myself.
Okay, well, my my editor's going to be busy with this video. Okay, I'll be back once I've cut this one off and replaced it with yet another one. Oh my God. What? Yeah, you do everything right and things still go sideways. Okay, I'll be back.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I have successfully cut yet another screw with hacksaw. So I remember I had mentioned that the other one had just the slightest, so this one has no imperfections whatsoever. So fingers crossed. Again, we go back in. Oh my God. Okay, let's see what this does. Again, this is another reason that I don't use power tools on something like this, because let's say I had been using an impact driver or something, yeah, it would have seized up probably further in, and then I wouldn't have had enough room to get the hacksaw in there, in between the washer and the nut. So I'm just now back off of that. Oh, too far. And right about in the middle. Yeah, it looks pretty good right there. All right. Let's see what this does. Okay, I've already pre-checked everything. Look, see, now I'm like super paranoid. Okay, that goes on real easy and smooth. Dear God, the camera added about 20 pounds. Jesus. Maybe I should eat a salad or something. Damn. Okay, so there we go. Please, robot gods, be kind. All right. Wow. Yeah, that sucked. Okay, so I'm tightening this up and click. Around here, you'll notice I'm not trying to use this end to tighten it. I'm just stabilizing this side. There we go. Click. And one more. And click. All right, there we go. Sweet Jesus, I sucked. Notice my washer shifted. I'll go back and fix that later, but yeah. Okay, so now we have this key. Now we have to align the key with the cutout in the washer. So you're going to get your hammer and you're going to give this thing a whack, okay? Dead blow hammer, something soft. See how I'm creating space in there? That's what I want. Now, I'm going to insert something in here so that this doesn't take up that gap while I am driving this keyway, this key in. Okay, go up here, and okay, and all right. I don't see the keyway yet. I'm gonna grab, I think this is the right one, and see if I can see the keyway coming out yet. Not yet. Give this another hit or two. And there. Okay. So now I can see the keyway coming through here. So the keyway is coming through. So now this spacer can be rotated until it drops down where that keyway is. There, right there. Yep. Okay, so now that's dropped down in there. Okay. Now what I can do is I want to hit this down to close up this gap right here. Okay. Make sure it doesn't spin on you when you're doing that. And still good. Still good. And there we go. Closed up the gap. All right. And we have keyway sticking out here. I can now drive that keyway moved a little bit. I'm just going to give it a little tap here. There we go. Just a small amount will stick out. Okay. Now I grab another one, which I have over here. This one goes on there like that. See how that works? All right. Now, by the way, this is the washer. Yeah, I couldn't reuse this washer. It's scratched up. I'm a stickler for details like that. Yeah, from the second hacksaw experience. So, let me see. Yeah, okay. Now, all these are loose. See? Rock and roll. I'm going to put this down in here like this. Okay. And now you can see that that will go down in there all the way. Okay. What I'm going to do here, just to be absolutely sure, I'm going to give this sprocket another whack or two. Just to make sure it is firmly seated against this spacer. And I'll go ahead and give my keyway another little whack or two. There we go. Good to go. Spacer goes in. Just like that. All right. So, I'm going to pull all these out. Now this one, the fasteners fit tight. Machining variances, my friends. You know, the difference of a few thousandths of an inch, even 5 thousandths, is enough to cause fasteners to either not want to go in. You know, they don't want to go in easily. So again, you work with what you got. So, a note here while I'm at this. Make sure that these slip on and off very easily. If not, you better get in there, throw this on a lathe, get in there with sandpaper, whatever you have to do to sand this down to where this will slide onto this end with no problem, okay? Trust me, you do not want to be in a situation where this thing, you get it part way on and it seizes up on you, okay? That's why I couldn't remove the one on this end. Removing it would just gall it up, and I'd have to use a hydraulic press or the 3-ton arbor press to get that thing out of there. It's where it needs to be. There's no reason to remove it. So, okay, alignment. What you want is you want to make sure that these are 30 degrees apart, okay? And then I think this one and this one is, yeah, this one and this one would be 15. So what you do is you put this on, you want to align it so that the set screws do not end up hitting the edge of this keyway or going down into the keyway. The easiest way to do that is to put that on there, align this hole with that slot. So you just eyeball it and boom, just like that. That will ensure you have equal distance between each one of the set screws and that keyway, and you're not going to hit the keyway. All right, you've done that. Now you want to check. I can see that this one is just, this piece here is just below the surface of this. That's fine. That's, yep. So, well, actually I got to put my set screws in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the one that drops 6. Okay. Grab the right size. So, I ordered, and they came in the flat point. Yes, use the flat point. Do not use the cut point or serrated or any or the ones that have the points. You want flat. Okay. Where's that small one? I guess that's running it in okay, isn't it? All right. Go in, run it in till it hits, and then back off ever so slightly. Run it in till it hits. Back off ever so slightly. Rinse and repeat. Again, if any of these start binding up on you or get, you know, it's as you go in further, it's progressively getting more and more difficult. Stop what you were doing, back it out carefully, see what's going on, see what's stuck. Maybe you got a bad, you know, fastener. Yeah, hey, we haven't seen that before, right? Something is not right. All of these parts should go together easily. Anytime you start running into, you know, resistance, unexplained resistance for some reason, you need to immediately stop and, you know, remove the hardware and figure out what is going on. Because if you continue to just, oh yeah, I'll just drive it home. Yeah, it may never come apart again. So, all right, so I got them in there. All right, So what I'm doing now is I am just putting the ever so slightest amount of, yep, you see, I'm just using a little tweak there. These are flat. There we go. So as I've said, this is already below this surface of this shaft feature here. When I put this on and tighten down the screws, that will pull this up, okay? But I didn't want it, I wanted these on there a little bit so that this doesn't rotate as I'm working on it. Okay, so like I said, all the machining tolerances, you know, yep, there's differences. So these holes and these holes do not, for whatever reason, they might be slightly larger, or, you know, the circle pattern may be ever so slightly off. Okay, and there's not a lot of wiggle room there. So here's how you account for that. Okay, if I try to run these in like this, like there's one going in, but the other one, it doesn't want to go in. See how it's kind of, it wants to tilt a little. Okay, so what you do is you run one in, take it in 3 or 4 threads, and raise the plate up. Now run this one in. You'll be at that countersink point, and that will give you the amount of wiggle room that is needed for these to go in there. And again, just take your time. See, I feel it bind it. Nope, there it goes. Okay. Yep. Take your time. There. Okay. Now you may or may not run across one or all of the problems that I have had. Some of these go right together. Other ones, yeah, not so much. That's life, isn't it? Sometimes things don't go exactly as planned. Okay. So I've run these in here. They now are in here at a deep enough depth that I know that I'm not cross-threading it, okay? Now what I need to do, you can see it's kind of high on this side, so I need to start working around, and there we go. And you'll feel it start to bind up a little, and when it does, you stop and you go to the other ones. See how these are now a little bit proud, and I'm just working that down. Okay, just don't force anything. Let it find its happy place. It will let you know, and you also want to keep an eye on it too. If you see one side's way higher than the other, well, you want to bring the high side down. And you just, yep, I can see this side's way high, so this one obviously, yep, there it goes. It needs to go down. The other thing you will encounter, and I've encountered this a lot, which is the reason you want to use high quality hardware. I have encountered this on more occasions than I care to think about, is that cheap hardware, this feature, no matter what fastener it is, will not be concentric with this feature, with the threaded portion. You will actually see, as you're screwing it in, you will see this head sort of oscillate. Now on most hardware, that's not an issue. But on countersunk hardware, that's a problem. Because remember, it's a countersink, so it wants to be concentric. I can see a small amount of run out in here with this hardware, but this was from McMaster-Carr, and they're pretty darn good about sourcing. Their hardware is quality hardware, except for the ones, of course, that seized up for no particular reason. But generally, the quality is higher. But there again, your mileage may vary. So I'm just looking around here. Yep, I'm taking it in. Feel that one tightening up on me. Okay, now I'm getting down. Okay, I can see this side here's a little high. There we go. I explained. So you can see my gap is now getting right down there. So here and here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this around so I can see what I'm doing. And just kind of drive everything home. There we go. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off these set screws just a hair. I'm going to back off of 3 of them. There we go. Because remember, this collar is going to want to pull up a little bit. All right. So now I get out the hex key with some leverage, and now I'm going to hold this so I don't want this to rotate, because remember we aligned it with that keyway. And I'm just going to start working around here. These are getting pretty tight now. Now I look at this. My gap looks almost non-existent. So now I can go ahead and I can drive this right home. I can tighten that right up. And I'm going across from each other. So I did 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Now I'm going to go up to 2 o'clock. Now I'm going to go to 8 o'clock. Now I'm going to go to 4 o'clock. And now 10 o'clock. All right. And that drew everything up nice. There's no gap. I'm now going to do a final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then go back to the first one just to make sure. Yep, everything's nice and tight. We're golden. Okay. So there we go there. Now I can turn my attention to the set screws. I don't go hog wild here. I do the 3, and then I go up top and I do 3 other ones. And here. All right. Now I can drive them home. Okay. Now this is very hard to get in here. For those of you that have plates that fit on here perfectly and you don't have the issue where the screws are slightly out of, you know, the hole pattern is slightly out, you can actually leave this off of here and then you can get the wrench in there with no problem. But on this one, yeah, okay, there I can get a little bit of, yep. All right. That one feels good. I'm going to go to the other side here. There we go. I got more room. Yep, click. So there's 1. There's 2. Yep, see, this one is one of those oddballs where it doesn't quite line up. So you just, yep, grab another hex and inevitably, yep, this one is clocked slightly different. There we go. So I can get in there and, yep, I think that was 3. Let's try this one. There we go. That's 4. Nope. Rotate this. There's 5. And there's 6. Okay, so assembled. Now, what you want to do Now this one only has 3 in there because, yeah, I'm running low on hardware. Let me just check and make sure that they're tight. So now I know one side should be right about, the short side is like 1.2-ish inches from this surface to this surface, okay? And I know this one should be, I believe it's 1.375 from this surface to this surface. This is where you check. Now, you will have a variance because the CAD calls for 1/4 inch or 250 thousandths material thickness on your rollers. And of course, there's always a machining tolerance, but the raw stock on this runs over. So here, and I am getting, can you see that? 255 thousandths. 255. So I already know it's going to be 5 thousandths less. Let's try this side. Let's see if this is the same thing. No, this side. Okay. That side, 251. Your mileage may vary, you know. What do you want from life? Okay, so you do your sanity check now. This is, hey, did everything go where it's supposed to, and is it reasonably close to spec? Here we go. Put this here, you know, come on. See that? 1.373. And then this side, $1.1955. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. There you go. So go back, check, make sure everything's tight. You're done. Okay. The other thing you should have already done before you got this far is make absolutely sure that your bearings are actually going to go onto the shaft. Okay. Yeah, these are, you know, these are the little things. You would hate to get to this point and then go to put a bearing on and realize something happened and the bearings don't fit. So, all right, folks. Well, that was a long and arduous journey, which sucked. But there again, you just goes to, you know, I'm showing you. Bear skins and stone knives, it can be done this way. And things are going to go, yep, things are going to go sideways on you. That's life. It happens. Deal with it. Don't bemoan it. Just, okay, shit happens. Move on, you know. Fix it, make it better. Sometimes the same thing goes wrong, you know, twice in a row. Go figure. All right, so there we go, friends. Please, yeah, our Facebook page, our Patreon, and yeah, I think I need to get some gym equipment. I need to start working out again. I stopped for various reasons. I was doing good, and well, just time constraints. So I'm going to get a gym, a small one for here where I can work out as I, you know, need to. So there we go, folks. Video's long enough, but it just goes to show you, you know, yes, just take your time. And hopefully I covered everything in this video. I think I did. But that's just one, you know, case of little things you have to do to make everything kind of go together and work. We do our best to design things and have tolerances that, you know, are reasonable. But there again, like with these sprockets, yeah, we catted them in a certain tolerance and they come in slightly under as far as the hole. So you have to do the chamfering and everything else. And you know, it's a pain to assemble. It doesn't just slide right together. But there again, in this case, you'd rather it have it be a little bit too, you know, a little bit tight than loose. So there we go, friends. Okay. That's it, Terry Andrews Jr. Yep, hope you enjoyed the video. Like the channel, subscribe, become a Patreon member. That should be coming up in the end card. And yeah, our Facebook page. So, all right, that's it. Bye for now.